What's up, my weebs and weebettes? Super Weeb Elijah here. Now, I just made my first edited video on this YouTube channel, one in which you didn't get to see my beautiful mask. But today I'm taking a couple steps back. Or maybe I'm not, I don't know, this might be edited, I might decide not to. Today I want to talk about a movie that every person on Earth has decided to talk about as of late, and for good reason. Today I'm talking about Cats. Now, Cats, let me preface this by saying, my mom and sister decided to go to Star Wars Episode 9 the other day. Meanwhile, I chose to go to Cats. I still don't know why. I might go back and watch Star Wars at some point, but honestly, I kind of don't care about Star Wars. But yeah, so I saw Cats instead of Star Wars, because I'm an intelligent human being, and I make good decisions. Also, I have no sense of forethought or planning whatsoever. But let me just also say, don't see Cats. Don't give this movie money. Just don't do it. Cats is a horrible movie. I watch a lot of bad movies and TV shows on Netflix, on Verve, #NotSpawn, but I've never, with most bad things, I can look through what's bad about it and find what's entertaining, or rather, I find the bad stuff entertaining. I love watching bad movies because they're hilarious. There have only been a couple movies that were so bad that I couldn't get any enjoyment out of them. Like, I've watched shows that are famously bad, like The Master of Ragnarok and Blesser of Einherjar, and I think it's funny. I just think it's really funny to see how bad something like that is. But even something that's mediocre bad is still entertaining to me on some level, because I can laugh at how bad it is. Now, I did see a movie a couple of years ago, back in 2016, called The Emoji Movie. That was another movie that was so bad, I could not find any entertainment value in it. But I guess that should tell you something, that Cats is a movie that's so bad, only one other thing I've ever seen has come close to being that bad. And it's The Emoji Movie. Cats is a movie that I did not find entertaining. Cats is a movie that left me dead inside. And I also forgot to mention the other movie that I've seen that was so bad I could not find any entertainment in it was Suicide Squad. All the DC movies are bad, except the new Joker movie, which isn't part of the unit. Anyway, so Cats. Cats, I don't want to talk about it. I don't know if you can tell. I'm kind of avoiding the subject, because, dear God. Okay, so let me start this off by saying I did like a couple things about Cats. I like the music. I think I like it because it's kind of funny, you know. Some of the songs are catchy, they're nice. It's all lifted straight from the play, which I assume is much better. I've never seen it. And I also liked Idris Elba's character, McCavity. He was kind of fun, and whenever he was on screen, he kept kidnapping the other cats, and you know what? Less screen time for the cats he kidnapped is perfectly fine, because he took away Rebel Wilson's character and James Corden's character, but I'll get to them later. So, oh god. I want to keep this short. Okay, so obviously it looks awful. All the effects are terrible. The faces kind of float around the cats' heads, but they're never fully attached. It's never seamless. There's always like a border around the person's face, and there's also like a cutoff where the arm turns into a hand. And the main problem with this is that the cats are too cat-like to be walking around and doing human things, but they're definitely too human to be doing anything cat-like. And so it creates this kind of horrible, just painful visual experience. because nothing looks right. I'm struggling to find anything interesting to say because everyone's talked about this movie before. Oh, some plastic just fell on my computer. Sorry about that. The characters, most of them are fine, but most of them, again, are lifted directly from the play, so not a ton I can say about that because I haven't seen the play. James Corden and Rebel Wilson are the two characters I actively disliked, I think, because they're just James Corden and Rebel Wilson, and I don't really like either of them. I don't think James Corden is good in any movie he's ever been in, and Rebel Wilson was good in like 2 movies, but she kind of just plays, she's just female Paul Blart, I'm gonna be honest, in most roles, so it's not, they're the worst characters. Like I said, I like McCavity. I guess I should talk about the plot, even though I don't want to. So I've seen a lot of people complaining about how a lot of the songs are just the cats introducing themselves, but like at the beginning of the movie, it says that that's the point. Like, okay, so the plot is there are these cats called Jellicle cats, which isn't a real thing, because it's a play. Don't talk through scarves, kids. Hair gets in your mouth. But so these Jellicle cats, they all compete to become the Jellicle choice, which is like a cat that gets to ascend and then is reborn as whatever they want to be. Now, I saw a lot of reviews saying that the plot didn't make sense, and yeah, I can see that, but it's not hard to follow. I wasn't super confused at any point, so that's one point for the movie. Is that the plot isn't impossible to follow. Although a lot of the early songs are completely unintelligible. I'd say the first 2. Actually, the first 3. The first 3 and Jason Derulo's song. Oh yeah, Jason Derulo's in this movie for some awful reason. And by the way, my favorite part about the movie, I think, or the part that was so bad I found it entertaining, was that all of the actors, all of the American actors or singers in the movie, they all put on fake British accents. And it's especially noticeable in Taylor Swift's character and Jason Derulo's character. They both do a really bad job of it. And it's very noticeable. That's why I think Idris Elba's character is good. He doesn't have to fake his British accent. He's always interesting when he's on screen. His song is the best in the movie. Even though it does have Taylor Swift singing most of it. Yeah, I don't want to talk about this movie for very much longer. I'm just stretching to 10 minutes because, you know, I can't put mid-roll ads on my videos, but I can sure act like it. So, yeah, the plot, the cat ascends to heaven. There's one cat who's, like, a reject from the group. You see her, like, twice in the movie, and she's real sad. Apparently she went with McCavity years ago to live a life of glamour or something. And she's kind of an outcast now because McCavity, like, abandoned her, but she's still seen as a traitor to the Jellicle cats or something. And then at the end, she's the one who's chosen to ascend and be reborn as a new cat. Yeah. I will say the worst part of the movie is Rebel Wilson's song. Not just because it's Rebel Wilson, but also because in her song, she has these mice and these cockroaches, which are choreographed with the music. And the mice look like straight out of a PS1 game kind of textures, but they're not polygonal. they just look really awful. It looks like the models aren't finished. It looks like you went through and colored them but forgot to texture them. And it's like, how do you forget a step that important? I don't know, maybe they were textured. They probably were, but like, jeez. It's just, it just looks so bad. And then the cockroaches, seeing a cockroach with a human face and 4 human arms, along with 2 human legs, is probably one of the most disturbing things I will ever see. But also, at one point in the song, Rebel Wilson eats several of the cockroaches, and seeing a cat with a human face eat cockroaches with human faces is disturbing and scary. 2 characters I actually liked. Their names were Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser. I actually liked their song. They were alright. You know, they were cat burglars, and that's the whole joke, but like, their song's real good. And they come back later, and it turns out they're working from a cavity because, I don't know, they steal things, and that's evil. They had to be tied back into the story somehow, even though Rebel Wilson's character is never important, and I don't think James Corden's is either. I mean, they progress the plot a little bit, but like, they're never important. Oh jeez, I haven't even talked about Old Deuteronomy yet. Okay, so there's this really old cat. Her name is Old Deuteronomy, and they have a song about her. And the song is probably the second worst in the movie. The worst being Mr. Mistopheles' song. Mr. Mistopheles is like this magic cat. I'm not explaining this to you in any order, because I'm kind of just recalling the bits and pieces that I can put together. But Mr. Mistopheles is a magical cat. Idris Elba's cavity can teleport, by the way. It's never explained why. And Mistopheles is magic, never explained why. But Mr. Mistopheles' song is where Idris Elba teleports Old Deuteronomy away, because McCavity, Idris Elba's character, wants to be the Jellicle choice. That's what they call the person who gets to ascend. He wants to be the Jellicle choice, and he he kidnaps Old Deuteronomy because Old Deuteronomy won't make him the Jellicle choice, and then he makes her walk the plank, which is something I haven't seen since I was 9, watching Peter Pan, I'm pretty sure. I haven't heard the phrase walk the plank in many years, many happy years, and now I've seen Cats. Just like watching Cats made me want to become a dog person. And I don't like dogs, so that's saying something. I still love my cats, though. But they're on thin ice. If they grow human faces, they're out. Like, I'm not dealing with that. Anyway, so, Mr. Mistopheles' song is one verse that they repeat over and over again. And it's just, oh, well, I never was there ever, a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. It's not even a verse, it's one line. They just repeat it over and over, and then it comes to like a crescendo because he brings back Old Deuteronomy. But it's still just the one line. And it's the only song I remember a line to, because the line is hammered into your head throughout that scene. I know there were probably some people who found this movie entertainingly bad, but I have like a point where I can't even be entertained by it. And that point came, I think, when James Corden showed up. Actually, no, it was when the cockroaches showed up, but after I was kind of getting back into it, and then James Corden showed up, and his song is just about how he eats a lot. Like, it's... It's not the worst song in the movie. It's not annoying, but he has a scene where he like stops all the music because someone messed up in the choreography for his song, and he like hisses at them. There's a lot of hissing in this movie, and it's very uncomfortable because they're cat people, and I don't want to see that. There's also scenes where they like nuzzle each other, which is disturbing because they're cat people. And again, too human to do cat things, too cat to do human things. It's a horrible combination that is a negative for both sides. And I guess I'll talk about the ending. The ending, old Deuteronomy turns to the camera and says a cat is not a dog like 5 times. And the movie ends. But the ending drags on for so long that I couldn't even feel happy when the credits started rolling. When I walked out of that theater, I was, I had died somewhere in my soul. And I don't think I can get that part of me back after seeing Cats. Walking out of that theater, I think I sat down for about 10 minutes and just kind of looked at the ground and tried to comprehend what and why I had just seen what I had. Don't see Cats, don't give them money. Go watch, like, Frozen 2 or something, I don't know. Even, I bet Rise of Skywalker or Return of Skywalker or whatever it's called would have been better than Cats, even though after The Last Jedi I'm not expecting much, but yeah. This format's probably really boring because I'm just standing here talking to you, but I needed to vent this because this is important to me. How did Cats get made in its current state? Like, it's... everything about it is just wrong. I can't imagine anyone would ever look at, like, a trailer for Cats and be like, yeah, I want to see that. But I did that. And I regret it. I really do. But there's a part of me that's glad I saw it. If you're morbidly curious, I guess you can go ahead and see it, but just know you might find it funny bad, but I'm guessing most people will just leave the theater like broken. Alright, thanks for watching. Subscribe, I guess, whatever.